So we have the big one here, 49ers at Seahawks here. Of course, the 49ers trying to hang on to that 1 seed. If they don't get that, they go down to the wild card, which is not fun. Seattle's trying to do their thing. You get beast mode back. Just dive into this game, guys. What do you expect from it?
They beat them already, Seattle did. And that day.
No George Kittle in that game.
I get it, but this is at home, and that's a tough place to play, as you know. Now, it hasn't been this year. They haven't been as good.
They've been a better road team.
They've been hurt this year. Their defense hasn't been good. This is going to be a Russell Wilson moment, though. I think the Seahawks will win this game, and I think Wilson will be the guy that leads them to the victory.
Yeah, if you're going to give me 3 points as a home dog, Seattle, all those things you just talked about, I'll gladly go ahead and take them. Now, granted, he's regressed a little bit when you look at earlier in this season and what he's done since then. Hasn't been quite as productive.
Got beat up last week.
And he got beat up, but they got Marshawn Lynch back. They get Robert Turbin back. Flashes
is Marshawn Lynch going to do anything?
I think he may do more than you
What has he been doing?
He's been hanging out, working out. Look, he played last year with the Raiders. He played 5 or 6 games.
Last time he played, he had he averaged 3.8 per rush.
That was also an offensive line that got roots.
Well, the last time he played in Seattle 2 years ago, he averaged 3.8 per rush.
This offensive line is better than what it was.
He's not good.
He doesn't have to be good for the entire season. He just has to be good for one.
You think he'll be good for one game?
I think he can. I think he can provide them a little bit of a burst.
I don't. I think this is going to be Russell Wilson day, and he's
Russell Wilson's going to have his moments, but I think Marshawn Lynch will as well. I'm telling you right now, man. I remember being there with him in 2013. He would come in. He didn't really do much in the offseason, at least not that we saw. He didn't really do much in OTAs and practice. When it came around for training camp time and all that, he was in shape. He was ready to go, and he knew everything. And it always surprised me.
How many years ago was that?
This was 6 years ago.
So he was 27. It's a big difference. He's 33.
Sure, there's a big difference.
He's
but
33.
I think he's been loading up on Skittles. He's going to be ready to go. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think that's a problem for them. The running back.
Well, they need to get Dwayne Brown
is the worst
Jadeveon
problem.
Clowney, Quandre. They need to get healthy on those spots, and I think it helps Marshawn Lynch and Russell.
But the San Francisco defense has not been that good lately, and that's a concern. They have injuries.
They haven't been healthy, too.
They have injuries too.
Yeah.
So are both of you taking Seattle?
I am.
I'm going to take Seattle as well. I'll gladly take the 3 points too. You can take the money line, whatever you want.
Do you think Seattle's winning the game?
I do think Seattle's winning the game.
I do as well.
Will that be frustrating, do you think, in any capacity for you guys to watch San Francisco fall that far?
He's probably going to go back to the decision not to play more conservative and try to go for a tie. That would be early in the year when these two teams met. That's where you're probably going to chime in and say, we wish we would have played for the tie back then.
Of course.
Right? Of course.
Yeah.
Because you have that on your game plan sheet. These are the plays we want to run in case we want to just run out the clock and play for a tie.
But they should have played for the tie.
Well, hindsight's always going to be 20/20, Pete, and unfortunately, you play to win the game. All right, it's been said many times before.
If they had played for the tie, what would their record be? 12-2-1?
12-2-1.
What would Seattle's record be? 11-3-1.
11-3-1, that's right.
And so if it wouldn't matter here, would it?
No.
Okay. I was right again.
We just have to end on that note because Pete always has to be right.
Seahawks with home field on the line for San Francisco. Seahawks, they're trying to get the division as well. That number also around 3.5. What's the play?
You're never going to hear me say this, Tommy, and I probably won't repeat it as long as we're working together. I'm going to throw the number out in this particular game because I actually made San Francisco a 1-point favorite, but it's a lay it or don't play it type scenario. And I think the cluster injuries the Seahawks are dealing with ultimately are going to be their undoing. You look at this roster right now, it's an absolute mash unit. CJ Prosise, Chris Carson, Rashad Penny all gone. It's turn back the clock day for the veterans in Robert Turbin and Marshawn Lynch, who are going to try and bust through that 49ers defensive line. You look at the way to beat San Francisco and it's running the ball between the tackles. I don't think Seattle can do that, especially without Dwayne Brown. The defense is banged up, and while Pete Carroll has said he expects some guys to be back, let's not kid ourselves. Seattle's incentive should be getting healthy, even if it means going on the road for Wild Card Weekend. I think San Francisco can exact a measure of revenge for the game that got away from them on Monday Night Football. I'm going to lay the 3 here, despite it not being the best of the number. I think the 49ers either win big or Seattle wins outright. I'm going to side with San Francisco in this spot.
One quick follow-up before I let you go, Todd. If someone goes and sees San Francisco or Denver at 3.5, are you staying away from either one, or do you like both or one or the other?
Denver, I'd be less inclined to lay the 3.5 there. I just feel like it becomes a real value play at -3 in a game I actually made right where the opener was at 4.5. With San Francisco and Seattle, if the number goes to 3.5 to kind of protect your investment a little bit, what I would do is I would split my bet, lay the 3.5, should be around even money. It may even go higher, and play some on the money line as well. The last thing you'd want is the 49ers to go in there, win this game by a field goal, take you the worst of the number, and end up losing your wager on top of it.
Boom. Todd Fuhrman dropping the knowledge as he always does on HQ. Todd, great stuff, man. Hope you had a great holidays. Talk soon.